roads there can be a bit of a maze. If you get lost, follow the pipes.
The limb tech in those stabilizers ran so damn hot, only more limb tech could contain it from complete meltdown. It's my turn to give you an explanation about the mass hallucination event that Tobias and Francis were going on about. But don't worry, I won't be nearly as long-winded, because there honestly isn't much that we know about it. It happened on the morning of September 14th, 1961. My colleague, Dr. James Kay, was conducting experiments at a highly classified site in the Deep Zone. He was assisted by my husband, Dr. Alan Turner. At 0400, their experiment unleashed a gamma-ray surge that instantly killed both of them. The surge was an impossible amount of energy, orders of magnitude greater than any man-made source. It also triggered hallucinations in anyone awake within a 10-mile radius. It was a burst of widespread insanity, but only for a short moment.
You know, 30 seconds of hallucinations sure didn't feel short when I was free-falling through outer space. Heck of a ride, though. Did you know the rings of Saturn sing?
I saw disembodied arms. Tons of them. They were grasping and crawling.
And, what about you, Oppie? What did you see?
I saw nothing.
How is that possible? Everybody else saw something.
Must have passed me by. I don't know what to tell you.
But weren't you working in your lab that night?
And weren't you supposed to be doing your research rather than keeping track of my whereabouts?
Okay. Wow. Touchy.
Now that we know the remnants were connected to the mass hallucination, maybe we can figure out what caused it.
Oh boy, do I have theories.
Don't start. Dr. Kay and Alan clearly uncovered some new way of using limb to motivate that gamma-ray burst.
Oh, yes, precisely. Where do gamma rays come from? But outer space.
Feet back on planet Earth, kid. There are plenty of terrestrial sources of gamma rays. Thunderstorms, for example.
No. You said it yourself. The energy levels from that night
Are much greater than anything we've seen on Earth.
Sure, but going straight to aliens when there's countless perfectly scientific possibilities. Perhaps Dr. Kay and Alan developed a limb-assisted mass particle collision. Or, heck, tapped into some sort of gamma-ray reservoir.
A reservoir? Or a portal?
A portal.
To where exactly?
To Atlantis.
Of course! Now why didn't I think of that? That's absolutely it.
Hey, Oppie, you've never cared about any of the zone's stories and superstitions. So, why now? What's in this for you?
What I do is not and has never been any of your business.
You're asking us to trust you, so yes.
It's our business now.
How about this? You two sign off and count orbs or whatever it is you like to do, and I'll get the driver to the mass hallucination source myself.
Excuse me?
No. Tobias found this remnant. This is his discovery.
Sure. And I'll send you a nice gift basket to mark the occasion. But I won't let anyone interfere with this.
To hell with that! We either throw everything we can at this thing, or we lose this chance, and the answers to the mass hallucination are gone forever.
This isn't like one of your little Sasquatch hunts. I'm not letting you get your tinfoil pseudoscience anywhere near this. This is too damn important to me.
It sure didn't seem too important earlier, when you messed up and nearly killed the driver.
You want to play that game? You really want to talk about our track records?
Screw you, Oppie.
I'd rather run this remnant into the ground than work with either of you.
Oh, forget it. We're wasting our breath with this old bear. There's gotta be another way.
She's out of her mind. I can't do this.
Look, if you want to waste your precious time picking apart bird droppings and squinting at constellations, by all means, follow their lead. But we're better off without them, trust me. I'll get you through no matter what.
This really is my last chance.
All right, we're in business. The stabilizers are coming online, and the way looks clear, but I'm also getting spikes.
The stability in your region is tanking. Get out of there. Fast. Nice work out there. The sector stabilizers are fully operational. You've got a straight shot toward the expansion wall.
One more thing. You may want to consider armoring up a bit. Once you cross that wall, the mid-zone is another beast altogether.
There's the expansion wall. It separates the outer zone from the mid-zone, and more importantly, us from those two idiots.
This will get you one step closer to the deep zone. It's far past its prime, so watch your step.
new friend. Welcome to our side of the wall. Oh, what's this? Your connection to Oppie is jam? Worry not. Our signal is crystal clear.
A little bit obvious, don't you think?
Right, ask me if I can. Yeah, the mid-zone's been marinating in all this radiation for so long. Things don't work the same as they do in the outer zone. But the good news is, we live here. We can help you, no sweat.
First things first, we've got to extend the signal from the garage. Otherwise, Oppie's equipment won't be much help. Hooking you into a mid-zone stabilizer should do the trick. Look around. You should be able to see one up a hill somewhere.
Okay, a stabilizer in Section D is online. Coming through loud and clear.
Hey, Francis, pan the car's broadcast frequency to the stabilizer, would you? Hey, come on, I can't do this without you.
Fine. There. Your receiver's hooked in now.
And we're patched into all that sweet ARC device data. Nice work. Oppie won't be able to block us out anymore. Well, better get going. Here it comes. Wow! Oppie was hiding a magic teleporter? We could have been beaming all over the zone this whole time?
Don't worry, I'll restore her connection once you do us a little favor. We suspect Oppie's hiding a copy of Artist's database in that auto shop of hers. Find it, and we can get back to this remnant business.
All right, I've identified the electrical circuit for the garage's security system.
And there's an Artist security lock in that circuit. So once I do this... bingo! That security lock's powered on now. We try that overload code from the observation towers. 4735. Boy, oh boy, look at all these gizmos in here. Oppie wasn't operating no normal auto shop. A fabrication station. Ooh, her personal vault? I bet there's some good stuff in there.
I'm uncomfortable intruding like this. Can you not?
Hold the phone. There's a machine that prints bobbleheads.
What? Show me.
Hey, driver, you seeing any trapdoors or secret passageways in that garage?
Oppie's too practical for that. It's probably in a locked room or by a dusty computer.
I'll bet my poetry collection it's in there. Yeah, it's gotta be.
Why would she leave something that valuable, let alone classified, in an abandoned garage?
Precisely because it's an abandoned garage.
Driver, something you should know about that database? When Artist funding began to dry up, they handed us our final paycheck with one hand and the same-day evacuation orders with the other. Oppie was a higher-up, though more entitled than an actual power by that time. She would have known about Artist's plan to close up shop and had enough time to download all the research data before losing access. That data could contain what we need to help you.
Oh, you did it! Hey, you actually did it! Boy howdy, I cannot wait to dig through all this data. As promised, I'll fix Oppie's connection.
Do you read me? Come in. Do you read me?
Loud and clear, you old bat.
I see. The comms clear up suddenly, and I find you two patched into the garage frequency. It all makes sense now.
No idea what you're talking about. So, Oppie, what's the plan? You must have some grand scheme, don't you?
Let me get this straight. You hijacked my mission, tapped into my frequency, and now you want to be all buddy-buddy. Not on your life. You think you're hot stuff. Why don't you take the lead then? Get the driver through all by your damn selves.
Did she just hang up on us? Well, guess it's our time to shine. So, Francis, you got any ideas?
We know the driver needs to get to the deep zone, but it's too dangerous to head there directly. We have to zero in on exactly where to go. The signal amplification trick won't work here. The ambient instability is too strong in the mid-zone.
Huh, how indeed. There was one other time where the mass hallucination and the remnants intersected. Driver, I've tagged a route for you. Whenever you're ready, give it a spin.
Sorry about all that mess with Oppie. There's no question, Oppie is a once-in-a-generation genius. I've watched her manipulate wavelengths with nanometer precision without batting an eye. So, yeah, to see her go from being the sharpest person in the room to what she is now is disappointing. This place, it leeches away your sanity day by day. So for Oppie to live here in complete isolation, locked away with only bad memories and expired medication, nothing good comes of that.
I'd feel a hell of a lot better if I knew why she suddenly cares so much about the remnants. Speaking of Oppie, you're not gonna like this, Francis, but I'm starting to think we can't do this alone. Look, it's not that I doubt our abilities. No one knows the zone like that old bat.
You heard what she said.
She'll sabotage this remnant before helping us.
Right. Well,
She'll come around to our charms.
No, she won't. Nothing in the 13 years we spent in R&D proof that she's open to working with anyone. She dug her heels in so deep that she wrestled everyone down into the grave with her. I can't be involved if she is.
What are you talking about? This is the entire reason we stayed behind, to write the record of the zone. Not about the experiments and the technology, but to tell the legends of the land.
I don't want anything to do with her.
I don't want to talk to her. I don't want her advice. I don't want to hear her goddamn voice.
this isn't like you. What's going on, Francis?
Is there something I should know?
No.
All your work in limb R&D, all the time you spent, your entire career, your entire life. You sacrificed it all for Ada, and how did they thank you? With a black hole in your resume, where you can't tell anyone what you did. You couldn't even tell people where you wiped your ass for 10 years. So no, I'm not letting this go. Not for me, but especially not for you.
That's not... Never mind.
You know, sometimes I wonder, how much of you staying here was actually to hunt these legends? Or if it was because you had nowhere else to go. ready, driver? Okay, first off, I've loaded up 3 locations on your ARC device map. You see them? Head to whichever strikes your fancy.
You're sending them to the missions?
Sure am. We're going to use this.
My optical vassalizer. We shouldn't use that.
Why not?
I mean, it's been decades. No way that thing is in any sort of working shape.
I've been fixing her up in secret, and I'm sorry. Don't be mad. It's gonna be a surprise for your birthday. Oh, I've gone ahead and made an itty-bitty modification to your headset, driver. I've hooked up the vassalizer here to modulate your scan function. Think of it like an extra layer of mayonnaise on your technology sandwich.
What are you using the vassalizer for?
No spoilers. We have to tell the story from the beginning. Driver, get ready to feast your eyes on the visions. So we told you about the mass hallucination. Hundreds of people, 30 seconds of crazy, yada yada. But there was one instance where that event and the remnants intersected. The story of Laura Cesari. Laura worked at ARDA as an executive secretary. She put in her hours, but she spent her evenings with a real passion. Painting. When the hallucination event swept through, Laura was overtaken like everyone else. But for her, the visions didn't stop. She tried painting them, but grew frustrated at her inability to recreate what she saw. Now at first, Anna wrote her off as one of the many whose brains got scrambled by what they saw.
Until Laura stumbled across a rusty can of paint in the woods. It was a remnant. Once she started using this paint, the visions in her paintings began to come true. She painted feverishly for over a year, chasing the visions the entire time. Until the day the paint ran empty.
And then she disappeared. Like all remnant holders do.
Now that we know the remnants and the mass hallucination are related, maybe Laura's visions can help us out.
The inverting doorway.
No, I don't like this one. This is where your theory comes in, Francis. You tell him. Hey, is it just me, or did this mirror look different before?
Probably the instability messing with the paint over time. It's been decades after all.
No, something's definitely off. Hey, where's our old notes from when we took a field trip out that way? Driver, why don't you go ahead to the next one while we investigate this? I can't.
Yeah, I can't even look at it. Francis, you explain it.
Maybe you've already seen them, driver. A freestanding bright blue door in its frame, out in the wilderness with nothing around it. If you do see one, don't get anywhere close to it.
I don't want to talk about it.
He was pretty close to a doorway when it opened. It's called the inverting doorway. When the door is shut, it's safe. But once in a while, it opens, and everything near it is turned inside out. Its victims are mostly bears, squirrels, and birds. They all go through hell. Meat and bones on the outside, fur and feathers on the inside. It's not fun to see. Once, a group of hikers didn't heed the warning, and
No, we're done here, driver. If you see one, you stay away from it. That's all you need to know. Let's go.
The Bigfoot mural. My personal favorite. Oh, did you see that, Francis? Oh boy, Francis, look. Look here. It's different from our sketch when we visited in '82.
It's all scrambled, but the shape seems familiar. If you tilt your head, doesn't that kind of look like Mount Olympus?
Oh, Francis, you flippin' genius! It absolutely is! Wait, let's look back at the first one. What's different there?
That shape right there, is that Hook Valley?
Holy smokes! Oh, wait, pull up all the topographical maps of the peninsula. If we look around the areas where you'd get that view of Mount Olympus... St. Francis? I told you your basilizer would work!
I don't think this is the Basilisers doing.
Driver, we're on to something. Get to that third vision.
Driver, if you come across a mushroom like the one in the mural, do not eat it.
No matter how tasty it might look.
You're speaking from personal experience. And let me tell you, it wasn't pretty.
Oh, just thinking about it makes me want to puke all over again. You've probably passed the biogenerators by now. They're our source of power in the mid-zone, and one of the best demonstrations of renewable limb tech. Yes, these battery farms keep our lights on, but more importantly, they're also the only place in the entire zone where anomalized mushrooms grow.
And guess who turned out to be the world's biggest fan of those mushrooms? Bigfoot itself! And the vision foretold its arrival in the zone!
It started when those pods hanging from the battery farms were found chewed up. At first, they blamed it on the local wildlife. This was back when we used to have some.
Then, the sightings of 10-foot-tall creatures started that didn't attract much attention on their own.
Not until the first footprints were found. The Olympic Peninsula has always had a collection of Bigfoot sightings, but they were rare until Bigfoot had its first taste of the anomalized mushrooms. Then it couldn't stay away. And that's when the Squatches came knocking. They jumped the wall, set up camp, and they got to investigating. Once they learned of the Sasquatch's appetite for these mushrooms, they cultivated entire farms of the stuff.
For months, they propagated mushrooms and set traps. And for months, evidence mounted that Sasquatch was making its rounds and evading those traps. Until one night, the experts disappeared.
Bigfoot got them, no question.
Come on, all 8 at once? How is that possible?
Never get in the way of a hungry Sasquatch. So about that last vision.
No, I'm telling you, the helmsman never made it out of the zone. He died here.
Not this again. I still don't know why you're so convinced he existed in the first place.
Driver, back me up here. This is how the story goes. It was the winter of '72. A ship set sail down the Columbia River 100 miles east of here. The helmsman was overcome by bad weather, and while in a particularly foggy patch, the boat hit something, and the impact threw him from the deck. When he woke up, he was on a boat on this very lake, smack in the middle of the zone, with no idea how he got there. He had with him a ridiculous amount of cash and made anyone and everyone to get him out of the zone. But no matter how he tried to leave, on foot, in a transport, he would always head into a fog and reemerge on another boat. At last count, the great pileup was 20 boats high and 30 boats wide.
A limb duplication glitch, nothing more.
You, of all people, blaming limb tech instead of a good old-fashioned mystery?
It doesn't add up. Arda's favorite pastime was carting people out of the zone. How could someone actually fail to escape?
And a mysterious man with a backpack full of cash, and the one place he can't spend it. Seems awfully fishy to me.